In this video we're going to take a look at a commercial MRE from the Sopakco company. This is one of their Sure-Pak meals. It's a civilian version of an MRE produced by one of the companies that makes the genuine MREs for the government. The menu on this one is chicken with tomatoes and feta. And before we review this, I actually want to take a look at a second one of these, just for comparison. This is also chicken with tomatoes and feta, also made by the Sopakco company. The same Sure-Pak meal, and in fact, these were both packaged on the same day. They both have a date code of 0037, which is the 37th day of 2010. The reason I wanted to make a comparison of these is because of the fact that genuine MREs are pretty standardized. If you go to MREinfo.com, you can find the menus, and this menu, chicken with tomatoes and feta, also known as Mediterranean chicken, was introduced in 2010, which is what both of these are from. So if you look at the menu, you can see that if you were to get a genuine MRE, menu number 5 from 2010, it would always have pretty much the exact same stuff in it. The candy 2 component, there could be some variety in there. I think it would be either M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, or peanut butter M&Ms, but everything else is pretty specific. And of course that's because the genuine MREs have to conform to government specifications. These Sopakco ones, although they're made by one of the contractors that makes the genuine MREs, these are their own commercial versions, and they can pretty much put in whatever they want. And I think that they have a pretty standard range of stuff that they use, but there can be some variety depending on what's available or what there's a lot of and what there isn't a lot of at the time. So I just wanted to show these two MREs, which are packaged on the exact same day by the same company, and see what's the same and what's different about them. Partially because I know there's one very interesting little component in this one that I've been interested in checking out. First, we'll take a look at the one that we're going to be reviewing today. This is the chicken with tomatoes and feta. Nutrition information. As I mentioned, this was introduced in 2010, which is when this MRE came out. And this is actually one of the menus that I've never had. This will be my first time trying it. And I've heard a lot of different opinions on this. I've heard opinions ranging from this is the best MRE that they've ever had to this is like puke. It's one of the worst things. So because of that, I've been interested in seeing what I think of it. But here's the chicken with tomatoes and feta. There's a beverage-based powder, tropical punch. And Cornflakes Cereal Bar. I haven't seen that one before. Oh, it may be crumbled and rehydrated with a small amount of water. I've never seen this before. We have vegetable crackers and peanut butter. Oh, there's a second Cornflakes Cereal Bar. Now this is very interesting because this one is just in the package, kind of loose, and this one's vacuum sealed. Otherwise it's the exact same thing. That's very strange. Huh. Be interesting to see if there's any difference in them after 4 years. Oh, this is kind of an example of what I was saying about how they have a variety of things in them. Not only do they have the two cereal bars, they have one package of crackers and they have peanut butter and cheese spread. Very odd. Standard MRE flameless ration heater. And an accessory pack. That includes Taster's Choice coffee, a little tube of whitener, creamer, 2 sugars, small salt and pepper, a moist towelette, napkin, and a standard brown MRE spoon. Alright, so this is the components of the first MRE. And a few oddities in there, the 2 bars with the different packaging, the 2 spreads for 1 package of crackers. And as I mentioned in the past, one of the big differences between the genuine MREs and the civilian ones is that most civilian ones don't have a side dish. And the side dish in the genuine version of this MRE from 2010 was cornbread stuffing. So that would give you, quite a bit more calories, a little bit more something to eat. But now let's take a look at the second one and see what's the same and what's different. As I mentioned, these are both made by Sopakco, made by the same company, and they're packaged on the same day. These are genuine MREs. You'd expect them to be exactly the same inside. And we have a peelable seal that doesn't want to peel. The chicken with tomatoes and feta, of course. The same tropical punch beverage base powder. Vegetable crackers, same. Peanut butter, also the same. Actually, this also has cheese spread too. They both have two spreads for the crackers. We have an accessory pack that has 2 spoons in it. I've never seen that before. 2 brown MRE spoons. There was obviously an oversight in the packaging. So that's very interesting. Flameless ration heater. And then the main reason I wanted to make this video in the first place, shortbread cookies. Not only is this not included in the other one, if you notice the packaging is a different color from the standard MRE packaging. This white packaging is used in the meal cold weather, or MCW. I've done a couple of reviews of those. And basically these are meant for use in Arctic conditions, most likely where there'd be snow. So instead of the tan bag, you have a white bag for camouflage. And the components inside are also white. So they somehow had an extra shortbread cookie package from a MCW lot or something. And I just thought that was really interesting that ended up in this MRE. So although you can see there isn't too much between these, it does illustrate the fact that the commercial ones don't have the same restraints as the genuine MREs. I was surprised, to be honest, that they both had crackers, peanut butter, and cheese spread. Other than that, they're basically the exact same, except for this one having the Cornflake Cereal Bars, and this one having the shortbread cookies. Alright, now we'll go ahead and review the chicken with tomatoes and feta cheese MRE from Sopakco. First off, we're going to start heating the main entree, the chicken with tomatoes and feta cheese. Open the flameless ration heater. Put the entree in on top of the heating element. This one, I don't know if it's because of age or what, but it does have some of the iron filings loose at the bottom here. Hopefully this will still work okay. We want to lift the entree and heating element above the lines here. And use just a small amount of water to get it to the fill line between those 2 lines right there. About there. Slide everything back down. That's already down here. Fold over the top of the bag. Lay it horizontal for a few seconds just to get the water into all the heating elements. This is our 4-year-old heater. This is seems like it's working pretty good. It's already too hot to touch on parts of the back. Then we're going to stuff the whole thing back in the box and place it on a rock or something for about 15 minutes. It is getting too hot to handle. I should have done that quicker. So we're going to have a nice hot meal. Alright, while that heats up, we'll go ahead and take a look at what else we have in the MRE. I'm going to skip the coffee, creamer, and sugar for this meal. Here's the vegetable crackers. Wow, these tend to be more crumbly than the regular ones. This one's no exception to that rule. course, we have the choice between peanut butter and cheese spread. And I suppose you could put both on there. I don't know if the cheese spread heated up might be good in the chicken with tomatoes and feta, although that already has cheese in it. But in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and use the cheese spread because I recently had something with the peanut butter. And knead that up a little bit, just get it all mixed up. For whatever reason, this is a little clumpier than usual. The plain cheese spread seems to have a lot of variety. Sometimes it's more of an orange color, sometimes it's closer to yellow, sometimes it's really smooth, sometimes it's kind of chunky like this, sometimes it's really smooth and easy to spread, sometimes it's a lot harder. I don't know what that is, if it's an age thing or if it's variations in how they're made, or maybe they're made in different companies. But there are some differences. But it's all good. I suppose it doesn't look as good when it's kind of clumpy like that, but it smells fine. I'm pretty sure it's going to taste fine. There's not too much else in here. Now comes the fun part of checking out the Cornflakes Cereal Bar. And these don't have, these are packaged one day after another. This was packaged on the 43rd day of 2009, and this is on the 44th day of 2009. But they're packaged very differently, as you can see. Unless this one was vacuum sealed, in which case there could be a problem with it, but I don't know, I have a feeling it's just the way it was done. We'll see. Huh. It looks, wow, it doesn't really look much like a bar. Doesn't smell like much. I would have thought Frosted Flakes would have made for a tastier bar than just cornflakes. But what do I know? And now for this very tightly sealed version, which still seems to be in bar form. This, I'm guessing, is more what it's supposed to look like. It's like a survival ration bar. In addition to never having tried the chicken with tomatoes and feta cheese, I've also never had these cereal bars before. I don't know what to expect from them. I don't know if it's more of a breakfast kind of thing or what, but since we do have two, I'm going to take at least some of this that's already crumbled. It does say that it may be crumbled and rehydrated with a small amount of water. So I'm going to take some of this crumbled stuff. I should have just left it in the pouch and done the whole thing, but didn't really know, and I want to take a look at it. Just going to put a little bit of water in there. A little too much. Add some more. Cereal in there. It doesn't look like much, does it? Yeah, well, we'll try it out. And the last thing we have before the main entree is the Tropical Punch beverage base powder. This one is in one of these small pouches. They have a few different varieties of pouches that they have. They have the ones basically like this coffee one that you can pour into a water bottle. They have these small pouches here that you'd have to mix in something, either a canteen cup or something else. And they also have larger ones, which you can mix in the bag, but it can be a little bit messy. And the best thing of all is the one when they have the reclosable pouches with the contour on it that you can mix it right up and drink it right out of. Of course, genuine MREs do come with a hot beverage bag, which is very convenient for mixing up something like this, but these Sopakco meals don't come with that. So I took a 16-ounce bottle of water, drank a little bit out of there, and hopefully that's approximately 12 ounces. Smells like fruit punch. And that just leaves us with our heated chicken with tomatoes and feta cheese. Now after how this FRH started, pretty fast and furious, it seems to have petered out. Hasn't even been close to 15 minutes, and it still has some heat, but it's not too hot to touch. And I don't know if that could have something to do with all these filings that came out of it. But anyway, it does have some heat to it. I'm going to wipe this off not only because it's wet, but it has the iron stuff on it. This isn't terribly warm. The bottom actually feels cold. Well, cool. The middle has some heat to it, so I'm going to try and mix it up a little bit. Get it somewhat even. And let's see what we have. Pretty watery in there, kind of like looks like more of a soup than anything. You definitely see the tomatoes, some green stuff in there, and this, I think that's the cheese I'm seeing, the white stuff. Now I believe this menu in 2010 replaced the chicken breast menu. And you can see it looks like the bulk of this, the chicken, is it may have been a chicken breast. It looks like one large piece of chicken that's kind of been taken apart. You can definitely see the tomatoes in here. Bunch of random stuff. Not exactly sure what I'm looking at, but the ingredients don't seem to list a lot of stuff beyond all the chemicals and weird stuff. A lot of salt, of course. Sodium phosphates, roasted chicken flavor. Tomatoes and feta cheese are high up there on the list, and there's a bunch of other small things. Water, spice, garlic, chicken stock, and dehydrated onion way down at the bottom. So it looks like a pretty good mix of stuff, but there really isn't a lot beyond the chicken and the tomatoes and the feta. I don't know what this is. Oh, okay, I guess that's a piece of the chicken. And this looks closer to real chicken than what you expect from like a processed kind of thing. Yeah, I think this is actually a real chicken breast. It's not bad. Let's go ahead and give this a try. I think that's very good. It's only warm at best. I think it would be better if it was hotter, of course. But I like it. The chicken's good. It doesn't really, like I said, it doesn't really have that processed, not only look, but it doesn't really have that processed flavor so much. And I think mostly as a result of the feta has a strong flavor to it, a good Mediterranean flavor. And it does taste pretty salty. Not surprising, but I've had quite a few MREs lately that I've been surprised that it seemed like they actually needed salt for the flavor, despite how much sodium is packed into them. But overall, I guess this is a winner. It's different. It's like I said, I've never had it before, and it's a nice change from a lot of the standard MRE kind of things. You know, you have a lot of pasta dishes, a lot of it's a lot of similar things, and it's just different enough to be a nice change. Looks like I'm in the camp that likes the chicken with tomatoes and feta. And next we're going to try this Rehydrated Cornflakes Cereal Bar. That's pretty bland. Don't really know how to describe it. I was going to say kind of like oatmeal, but not really. It doesn't really have any sweetness to it, but it seems to have a little bit of a flavor, but I guess the cornflake flavor. And since it is sort of being used in a way similar to cereal, I'm actually going to add just a little bit of sugar and see if that helps the taste at all. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to make of that. It's something to eat. I don't know exactly what it provides you with. See how this crumbly bar is dry? It's like sand. No, it's not much with the water, but it is an improvement. That's a pretty boring bar. Nothing special about that. I'm not exactly sure what the point of them is. Let's try the one that was sealed a little bit better, the vacuum seal. Seems to taste about the same. Yeah, that does seem a lot like one of those Serval bars. It's very dry, so I'm going to go ahead and try the drink now. It's fine. Fruit punch, nothing special, just your standard powdered fruit punch drink. I'm going to try this kind of funny looking cheese spread. Which tastes fine after 4 years. Of course, we still have coffee and we have some peanut butter for whatever you want to use that for. Or maybe that could go on the cereal bar? I don't know. If you have enough crackers, if you use cheese up on half the crackers, you can use peanut butter on the other half. It's all up to you. But like I said, I like this. I like this chicken with tomatoes and feta. It's got a good flavor to it. This sauce is a little runny. But it tastes good, that's the important thing. And it's pretty salty. Part of the Mediterranean flavor, I guess. So that was a look at a chicken with tomatoes and feta commercial MRE from the Sopakco company. Thank you for watching.